Hey friends, and welcome to Technical Shots with LJ. And welcome to our weekly natural gas updates. So this is the TA which we have been discussing from last 4 weeks, and this forthcoming week is the fifth. So we have been building this ascending triangle. So you see this rising floor here, and then you can see the horizontal resistance which I have highlighted in a pinkish zone. So we actually started from, I think, this point, not this point, we are on this point when the price was roughly around 2.7-ish, 2.17. So this is where we started from, and we were trying to build this ascending triangle. Eventually, if you can see, we have actually built a nice break towards the pink zone, and then we have actually broken out. So if you remember last week, and then for all the new users, I'm going to share all the links of all the past videos in the description. So if you want to just go through the very beginning of how we built this TA and where the markets are going to go as per this TA, it will be covered in all the 4 videos which I'll be sharing in the link in the description. Saying that, so we said, this ascending triangle needs to break out if we want to reach the price of 3.33. So that's our target at the moment. That's the target based on the ascending triangle. So that's the reason I said this is the rising floor. The one which I have highlighted in green, the thick green line, and the pink zone here. And so we saw that the prices have moved, and actually we saw uh, when was this? This candle was done on the 23rd June when we saw a breakout of this. Last week we discussed that we've gonna come back for a retest. So if you look at this red candle and ignore the positions which I have taken, but I'll come to that later. So you see the big red candle, it has worked as a retest, and if you see the next following candle, the green one, it's basically bouncing back from the retest zone. So as per the TA, we have broken out from the ascending triangle, and we have retested the neckline or the resistance of the ascending triangle. Now, based on that, I have taken this trade, which is the bigger one. Uh, Let me just shrink. So this one, and I have entered here at this fib level, which is 2.6.84, and stop loss for which is roughly around 2.409, because we discussed that this particular level, this red fib level, which is 61.8, that is 2.48, is it is working as a strong support, and then we have another support at 2.42. So I've put in my stop loss just below it. That's the reason the stop loss is 2.409, and technically you can put it to 2.38 to be honest, but then I've just thought I just put it as in 2.409. The risk reward is 2 is to, so 1 is to 2.5 ish, roughly around, which is not bad. Technically we would have wanted something around 3 is to 1 risk reward, but we are just going by the technicals of the ascending triangle. So what could be the potential target based on the ascending triangle is the depth of the ascending triangle. That's what we have plotted here. This is the line which is 3.33. So that's the target, and then stop loss is 2.409, and then we have plotted the target. So what do we expect in the coming weeks, or sorry, what do we expect in the upcoming week? So if you look at this, we have a nice channel as well. At one point, the price actually dropped below the channel, and then we see the very next candle. It has the price entered the channel again. Now let me go back to an hourly, and let's discuss more. So far, I mean, it's working as we discussed. The TA is perfectly, respecting. Sorry, the market is perfectly respecting the TA as we were expecting the prices to move. So let me just put this back on the hourly. So on the hourly, this is our retest zone. So you see that it has retested here on this red candle and then bounced back. And in that process, it actually formed a symmetrical triangle, and that's what you see here. I've taken another small trade, on the ascending triangle, break of ascending triangle. The target is the height of the ascending triangle. So roughly, if I take the price range, it is around, this roughly 136 pips here, and that's what I have plotted, from here to this particular thing. So the target is roughly around 2.48. And if you look at, the ascending triangle, sorry, symmetrical triangle. Sorry if I've, let me correct it. This is not ascending triangle, it's a symmetric triangle. The ascending triangle is a bigger triangle, which we looked on the daily time frame. I will come back to it once we finish this on the hourly time frame. So if you look at this, symmetrical triangle, it's nicely, trying to get squeezed between the upper and the lower trend lines, and then it has broken out here. Look at how neatly it has retested, and then it's just going up from here. Now if you look at this particular line here where it is, the prices have rejected from, it's 2.83. That is roughly the fib level. When we go on the daily, I'll show you. I mean, I've discussed all these fib levels in the past, you know past videos. So if you don't know what these levels are, I would highly, recommend you go and have a look at the past videos. So how, to check how we have actually, posted these fib levels. So you see the price has, rejected from this fib level, which is roughly around 2.827 or 2.83, and then it's rejecting, and then this is where the market has ended on Friday. So let's see what we can see. I mean, how the market is looking for the coming week, which is, the week commencing 3rd of July. Now let me tell you, on the 4th of July we have a US holiday. It's Independence Day for US, so we won't be having a trading day. So it will be a holiday for trading. So we won't see volumes, to be honest. So I mean, even for Monday, I'm not sure how much volumes we would be having, because most of the people would have, clubbed this Monday and the weekend, to get a longer weekend. So let's see how it actually works. So I'm assuming if it opens either flat, there is a possibility that we can potentially go back and, test this triangle, and then bounce back, and then, get our first target of the symmetrical triangle, which is 2.4 2.84. And once that is done, then we will, start our journey towards this particular line, which is 3.02. This is again one of the fib level. We will see on the daily, once we go back on daily, what fib level is, this particular 3.0. So then we'll start the journey towards it. Now, one more thing which actually I wanted to show you, maybe I'm not sure whether I discussed this in the previous video, so let me just, quickly show you on this. Where was the gap here? The last time it hit 3, yeah. So look at this one. So the last time it hit 3, you see a gap. This is the gap from 2.995 and 2.832. So this is the significance, why the price is actually getting, unable to cross it. But I'm of the opinion it is going to cross some point this week, and then this might reject the price again. So this is 2.992. So this has, the every right to reject the price. but eventually we are, going for our 3.0. Where's that red line gone? It's 3.02. So that is what we are targeting. And once we take 3.02, I mean, I'm sure there will be a bit of, a tug of war between the bulls and the bears at 3.02. Once we take it off, then, our ultimate target of 3.33 based on the, the analysis of our ascending triangle. So now let's go back on the daily and let me tell you what I have taken in terms of where is. So this is the fib level which I was discussing, and this I have already discussed in a couple of times in, I think, in the part 2 and the part 4. So this will be the part 5th of this ascending triangle TA formation. So and the reason I said is because if you look at 3.02, it's a very strong fib level of 1.68. That's the reason I'm saying that there will be a lot of, bulls and bears trying to fight out this level. And if you look at it, it is perfectly, aligned with this particular, you know, particular candle here. So it is perfectly aligning there. So saying that, look at this. So we actually, and again, this is not a recommendation to, recommendation of buy or sell. I have, taken, place the trade. This is strictly for educational purpose. So I place the trade, one for the symmetrical triangle pointing to 2.84, and then there is another which I said it's the main trade for this particular ascending triangle is been triggered at 2.684 and is heading for the target is 3.33, and the stop loss I have placed at 2.04 2.409, and I have given the rationale why I have placed the stop loss there because two I mean technically we should I'm thinking technically that we should not close below 2.6 on a daily. If at all we close, then I think we will have to watch for this rising trend. We don't want to break this rising trend. As long as this rising trend is holding, then we will be, this TA of ascending triangle will actually be you know justified. So we want this uh, the rising trend to be not broken, or to be holding support, which it is doing perfectly fine. So saying that, we have this couple of trades at the moment running. So one is uh, one is pointing to a target of 2.84 and another is pointing for 3.33. The stop loss for the smaller one is 2.618. So we don't actually want the prices to close beyond 2.638, and that's the reason I put in the stop loss of 2.615 for the symmetrical triangle. And for the actual TA of the ascending triangle, the target is 3.33 and the stop loss is 2.409, because 2.488 is a strong support level, which is a fib 61.8. And I have actually again considered another fib level, which is zero point 0.5, which is roughly around 2.41 ish. So this is what I look for. And again, these are the trades which I have placed. And let me give you a disclaimer again, this is not a buy or a sell call. It is strictly for educational purposes. And this is a TA we have been discussing from last 4 weeks, and we saw this last week actually that the ascending triangle gave a breakout. And this week, as in the week ended this Friday, we have actually retested the particular neckline, and we have entered in our long position. So this is what, to summarize in a nutshell, as per our TA, this is a particular trade which I was looking for from last 4 weeks. So we have entered as per our TA, and now we will see how the the markets respect our TA. Saying that, I think we pretty much covered, what I actually wanted to cover in this session. If you have any queries, you are more than welcome to ask in the comment section. And if you think this was helpful, please give us a thumbs up. And if you can share and subscribe to the channel, that would be appreciated. Thank you for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.